Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Spider-Man the Animated Series, Season 5, Episode 9, 10, and 11, The Secret Wars Arc. So, when it comes to Spider-Man the Animated Series towards Season 5, this was the last season. And right after these 3 episodes was the incredible series finale, which is still one of the best series finale for an animated series. And this Secret Wars, of course, is based off of the comic, but it's a loose adaptation of it. And John Shimper did a really good job, in my opinion. It was a very engaging 3-parter. See, Spider-Man is a loner. He just prefers to do things on his own. But every once in a while in the comics, he will team up with people because he is such a popular character that the writers always bring him in to all these group events. And well, same thing happened in the show. Somewhere about the 4th and the 5th season, they started pairing him with other people, mostly solo heroes and stuff. And one of the reasons is because Madam Web was preparing him for something. He had no idea what exactly she was preparing him for, but she said it will be for his greatest battle ever fought. And so him and her always butted heads over that, even to the point where he forced her to leave him alone after Mary Jane disappeared, and she would not give him back to her. But he hasn't spoken to her in months, and then all of a sudden she grabs him up and sends him to speak to the Beyonder. And the Beyonder in this version is a good guy as opposed to that of the comic. In the comic, he's just a straight up villain. And so it is the Beyonder that made Madam Web, put Parker through all these tests and all this other stuff. And this right here, Secret Wars, I assume was the big battle she was talking about, but it's not. It's actually just a practice test to see if he is the one who is truly going to be the one to lead a group of interesting heroes. Let's just say that in the finale. And so the Beyonder and them tell them that, the Beyonder basically wants to play a game, good versus evil, who will win. So, because of that, he has found a planet many, many years, light years away, and he's going to grab up some of Earth's most deadliest villains. He decides to pick Dr. Octopus, Alistair Smythe, the Lizard, and the Red Skull. Now remember, the Red Skull has been missing for decades because him and Captain America are in some kind of parallel pocket dimension fighting each other. And so he places them on this planet, a planet that has only seen peace. Never has there been crime or nothing like that. And so he lets a couple of years pass, and now that beautiful planet is now in ruins and in chaos, and it's very much a war type planet. Spider-Man is very pissed off about this because he doesn't understand, if the Beyonder is a godlike being, why in the world would he do this just to determine which side will win, good or evil? So of course, Spider-Man tries to fight him to no prevail because the man is literally that of a god. And he tells Spider-Man, you can save this planet, but you have to do it with a team that you create of your own. And he will give him a device that will transport only a certain amount of heroes. In the story arc of Secret Wars in the comic, I know a bunch of heroes go to a planet to fight somebody. Who is that somebody? I don't know because I never read the comic. Only thing I know, that's when Spider-Man got his black suit, when he ruined his suit, and the Hulk is all like, oh, there's a machine that can make anything you want. And so he made a suit, and Venom just happened to be hiding inside the suit. And the rest is history. Now, the MCU is planning on doing Secret Wars, but they're doing their own version with the multiverse. And supposedly, Tobey Maguire is going to be the Spider-Man in that movie, even though Tom Holland is the MCU Spider-Man. And there's been rumors that, the Fox X-Men and Fox Fantastic Four and some other people will show up. I have no idea, and nobody knows what's really going on with the MCU right now. And so, you gotta really give it up to Spider-Man because he's just kind of like, yo, man, why me? And why are you doing this to all these innocent aliens and stuff? And, and so you really wonder what the heck is going on and stuff. And why exactly did he pick these villains? Now, it makes sense. Oh, Doctor Doom's another person he picked. My bad. I left him out. And it makes sense for Doctor Doom and the Red Skull to be there because, of course, they have taken over like areas of the land and have sectioned it off. But then why the Lizard and why Alistair Smythe and Doc Ock? I guess he wanted a different variety of villains, but they're all scientists and stuff. Well, the Red Skull's not really a scientist. He's just more of a dictator. But you have Alistair Smythe, the Lizard, and you have Doc Ock and Doom, who are all scientists and stuff. But only two of them have leadership skills, while, the others aren't, and one has a savage lizard mind. But when it comes to Doc Ock, he did kind of lead the Insidious 6 when they was fighting against Spider-Man. And he's a little bit more bigger in the comics, the master planner or whatever they call him. And so I've always found these episodes very intriguing. Plus, we get to have a team up of superheroes that I like. So that was always cool. Except for Captain America. I really didn't know who he was at that time. I played him in a video game that really sucked. And I don't like this version of Cap. And so basically with the alien technology, Spider-Man is going to bring these heroes in to fight the villains, but also to fight the Beyonder if need be. And so he brings forth the Fantastic Four, all of them, because they fought Doom. He also brought with him Iron Man because they fought alongside together. He knows that the Red Skull was defeated by Captain America, so he brought him in. And so with this, he could only bring in one other person. And so he decided to bring in a member of the X-Men team, but he couldn't figure out which one. So he decided to bring on Storm. Now, I was always confused as to why he brought on Storm, but he says she's very powerful because she can control the elements. But what if she can't control them on an alien planet, other than creating lightning herself? And one thing I didn't know is that she's in the old level mega mutant and everything in the comics, but she was never really portrayed to be all that. She was portrayed tough and kind in the show, but you never really saw her leadership skills, especially when it came to that of the Morlocks. I thought it would have been more better for him to bring in Professor X or Jean, because literally they can just go inside somebody's head and make them do whatever they want. However, we never really saw this that much in the X-Men series. And of course, everybody is redesigned, for the Spider-Man series. So, but Storm looks relative the same. I know when she appeared in Spider-Man later, she looked like she always does in the X-Men series, but some of the other X-Men had a different design to them. The Fantastic Four has a completely different design to them, and I'm really digging their new suits and also their new face sculpts. Also, they're all voiced by different people except for the Human Torch. I don't know why they didn't bring in the people from the cartoon series, but whatever. And of course, Iron Man has that same armor he had when he appeared in Spider-Man, but it's still voiced by the same dude from his own Iron Man series. I'm pretty sure this is a different version of Iron Man from the Iron Man series, only because of the hair and the suit, because when he appeared in the Hulk, he had the same design he did in his own series. As for Captain America, I'm just not feeling this dude. I don't like his suit. I don't like the voice. I don't like how goody two shoes he is, this and that. And so, when he brought them over, of course, what do? They bicker and they fight. You always gotta love that with superhero groups. It's nice tension because you don't always want to see them get along. And they're pissed because they basically been kidnapped from their Earth and brought to this alien world to fight in a war they don't want to fight in. And their egos are really starting to get to one another to where they all start to fight each other, which is really cool because, you got Ben Grimm, who basically wants to manhandle Spider-Man, but Iron Man, who's buddies with Spider-Man, he ain't having that crap. He's going to help his boy out and everything. And so they're all fighting on one another until the Lizard busts in and blames Spider-Man for all of this. And so, like, he's trying to literally rip Spider-Man apart. This causes all the heroes to stop fighting one another and then help Spider-Man out, only for the lizard to run out. Spider-Man tells them, we have to like save him and everything, because what Iron Man doesn't understand, that's Spider-Man's friend, and Iron Man legit just cannot understand that. But then, like, the lizard is attacked by like these sandworm things, and so all the heroes have to like fight these giant monsters off, which is a cool battle and everything, but it doesn't last long. They tend to use their smarts and realize that whatever place they're at must have had its own defenses against like the monsters, but why isn't it working now? So after jerry rigging like the machinery and everything, they put the force field up, and it's long enough for them to like survive, and also Reed Richards to like use the alien tech to scramble around in the brain of like the lizard and bring out his human side, but keeping the body of the lizard. This was really cool, because how often have we seen the lizard talk with Kurt Connor's voice? And so now Spider-Man has another member on his team. But how long will that last before the savagery come out in his brain? Madam Web is highly impressed by this, but the Beyonder could care less, because he wants, all the villains to be stopped. And so Spider-Man finds a recording device and is going to use it, because he said, this is going to be the greatest war ever fought, and it won't be a secret war. And, we're really starting to see the leadership skills of Spider-Man take forth, because, like I said before, he is the loner, and he is just like a very smart person, and he's never led like a full team on his own. Then you get into the second episode. The team is split up. The Fantastic Four does what they always do best and just go after Doctor Doom themselves. Storm is with the rebels and everything, the alien rebels, and they're about to like strike that of the Red Skull's hiding place. And like, everybody else is with Spider-Man. But the problem is now that the device, the vehicle they're in, is like taking in a lot of sand, because it's a sandstorm. And needless to say, they have to hoof it. But before all this happened, Spider-Man brought in another team member against the wishes of the Beyonder by jerry rigging the machinery, along with the lizard and Tony and stuff. And he brings in the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. She is furious because at this point in time, she is with Morbius and Blade hunting down Blade's mother. And she's mad that Spider-Man basically kidnapped her when the other two needed her help. Needless to say, she is not talking to him throughout the entire episode. And he's pissed because he also wanted a companion, somebody he can lay his head on the shoulder, because him and her had a romantic thing. And she's basically like, look, man, I ain't your shoulder for you to cry on, and stuff like that. He starts to become a little bit jealous when he sees her and Captain America talk and start to bond. And they're bonding because they both have the same super serum formula that made them into who they are. Because they altered this version of the Black Cat. And so she tells him how, like, her father witnessed everything and blah, 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 blah. It's nice to see these two finally meet, because, the reason why she is because she is because of, like, him. And so, like, the rebels are very impatient and they just want to attack, but they don't have the manpower without that of the heroes. And Storm can't hold them back. Storm does not do much in these three-parters, and especially in this second. I hate how she is sidelined. And so, like, Spider-Man, the team is tired and weary, and Iron Man is basically dying because his armor has taken in too much of the sand. And what Spider-Man doesn't know, that if he doesn't have his armor, he ain't gonna live, because he has a heart condition. So everybody's just sitting about and lazy, Spider-Man pretty much gets everybody to get up and go. Now, when it comes to the villains and everything, Alistair Smythe is working for that of the Red Skull. Alistair basically, I think, had his place taken over by Doc Ock. And Doc Ock is just reigning like a crazy man. And so I never got to see much of the Red Skull before until now. He's a really interesting character and very evil, because remember, it was that fake version before in the last couple of other episodes. And so, like, It turns out the villains are just villains, man. They're all betraying each other. Once Doc Ock finds out like what's happening with the rebels, he asks for an alliance with that of the Red Skull, but Smythe realizes that both men are gonna betray each other. Anyways, the rebels attack, the heroes have to get there as fast as they can, and then they all fight one another as the villains are betraying each other. But then Alistair Smythe betrays them all because he tells Spider-Man, look man, I just want to go home and attend to my father. And so Alistair's trying to shut down all the robots he built. But one of the villains put like a failsafe in there to like take over them. Needless to say, the villains are defeated, and Spider-Man has now succeeded in his second task as like a leader. Then you get into the third one, which is really cool and interesting. The heroes are trying to meet up with that of the Fantastic Four, and they find them all incapacitated. And Ben is gone. The Doctor Doom took Ben and everything. Reed always blamed himself for that of the thing and his friend or family becoming the way they are, but especially Ben Grimm, who is a literal monster. When they get to Latavia, well, New Latavia, they realize something. All of the aliens are living in peace under that of Doom. Doom has made paradise and everything, where there is no part of the war that came to his area of the land. And this is really shocking because we know how evil Doctor Doom is. And this is also a different voice actor for Doctor Doom. And so the Fantastic Four aren't believing it until they see Ben Grimm, who is now human. Basically, Doom succeeded where Reed has failed. And he made a device that can have Ben Grimm turn from human to back to that other thing. Everything seems too good to be true, and it is. It seems that Dr. Doom wants the powers of the Beyonder because Ben Grimm ran off the mouth. So with some technology here and there, he transports to find the Beyonder, steals the Beyonder's powers by putting them inside him, and then uses those godlike powers to just like do whatever he wants. And so he banishes the heroes and sends them far away, while Ben is still his lackey. And it's really shocking that Ben Grimm, of all people, will align himself with Doctor Doom. But it just shows if you can turn him back human, he'll like turn on his friends in a heartbeat. But then all of a sudden, all these monsters started coming around like the castle. And Ben's trying to fight them off, but realizes they're coming from the subconscious of that, of like, Doom, and like the powers are literally working through him as he sleeps. By this time, this is when the heroes are just about to give up and everything, and they're tired and out in the sand. And Spider-Man decides, you know what, I'm just gonna go by myself and fight the bad guy. And he's not really being a team leader, but he just feels terrible. He got all these people involved in all this. When he confronts Doom and then he wakes up, Doom's pretty much just like, oh, I can handle this all by myself, blah, 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 blah. But he can't because he cannot control the godlike power of the Beyonder. The rest of the heroes show up and basically Spider-Man gives him the whole with great power comes great responsibility line and this and that. And so after all that and everything, the Beyonder decides, you know what, this game is now over and Spider-Man people have won. And so like, because he realizes Spider-Man is the man that he needs to lead a certain group of heroes and stuff. And he sends everybody back home and erases their memory. And Spider-Man doesn't understand what the heck was the point of all this if you're just going to erase people's memories and reset time and this and that. And the Beyonder shows him. And then we get the most shocking cameo of all time. It's a group of Spider-Men that all look different. And this version, our Spider-Man, is going to lead them because he is the only one who succeeded in his test of the Secret Wars, where all the others failed or came close to winning. And I could not believe when I saw all these different Spider-Man costumes because I've never seen them before. The only one straight from the comic is that of like the Scarlet Spider and also the TV actor dude. But then there's one that has Dr. Octopus tentacles, and I think he was made up for the show. Also made up for the show, I believe, is the Armored Spider-Man. But needless to say, this was a very well crafted like 3-parter. It had plenty of action. plenty of heart, and it really tested the mind of that of Spider-Man, who literally just wants to be left alone as a loner. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.